Righto legends, on this video it's 79 series time and the vehicle from the team at Red Dust Adventures.
This one's got a bit of a shorter tray on it this time, so it's a little bit different to what we normally do, so let's go and check it out.
Righto, now before we get started, Brendo, it's a bit of a different build.
Little bit. We've got a bit of a shorter tray than we normally do and a slightly shorter canopy as well for this particular customer.
Even for the customers. So Brad and Fee, they're Red Dust Adventures on YouTube.
That's right.
Now, Brad and Fee do all sorts of videos throughout WA's Northwest about everything. So all driving and touring, I think he's got some cooking sections in there as well. So look, legends at home, make sure you check out Red Dust Adventures on YouTube. Brad and Fee, they're an absolute legends. Make sure you check them out. Now, tray.
Yep.
It's shorter.
It is.
Essentially. Right? It's the same width and the same height as a normal 79 series, but it's 1750 long. So we've basically chopped 150 mil off the back of it. Under tray boxes get a little bit shorter. It does actually suit the car.
It does, yeah. The proportions are really, really good.
Yeah, definitely. Like a lot of 79 series in anywhere from that sort of 1850 to 1900. You know, I know probably old Farmer Joe, he probably wants the longest tray that he can possibly get on his 79 series, but for a lot of people, that little bit shorter is going to give you a little bit better departure angle. Basically, the tray finishes almost flush with the back face of the tow bar.
Yep.
So it is a good option.
Yep.
We now have 2 trays for the 79 series in the dual cabs for our range, I guess. Plus, I guess there's the extended chassis as well. So we've now got 300mm extension tray, your standard 1900 and the 1750.
Yep.
And then canopy-wise, Brendo.
Yeah, so this particular canopy we chose was the 1500 length, so giving that little bit of deck at the back for the spare wheels. But we can still do the 1640, the full length canopy as well if you want to. But yeah, the way that it finishes off at the back's really good. It's easy to use the tow bar the way it is now.
And
easy
too,
to access.
with the 79 series, you can't stick that spare back underneath.
No.
No, unlike a factory Toyota tray where you can slide the spare wheel. If it's a 285 or a 295, you're limited on size with the factory Toyota trays, but you have to come up with a different location. With our trays, that space between the chassis and the bottom of the tray is taken up with your trundle drawer and your water tanks. So you have to have a tyre on the back. So, and the 79 series, for anybody who's done a few thousand Ks in a 79, 79s are renowned for porpoising. They do get a bit of chassis flex and all that kind of stuff. So trying to keep that weight forward as close to the axle as you can does make a difference to the vehicle. And to a lot of people, they think, oh, it's just a couple of spare tyres hanging off the back. At 40 kilos for each tyre does make a difference. You think of the centre of axle, back, it's the old thing, you hold 10 kilos close to your chest, you'll stand there for an hour. You hold 10 kilos with your arm out, you'll be lucky to last 10 minutes. So it does make a difference trying to keep that weight forward, and you still have a half decent canopy.
Yeah, plenty of room.
Customer's still done rooftop tent. Do you know what I mean? So to fit everything on inside, Brendo, it's pretty basic, isn't it, mate?
Pretty basic.
I think Brad and Fee have got plans.
They got some big plans, I think.
Yeah, for what they're doing on the inside. I think the only thing that we've done is the electrical panel.
Yep.
So,
ready for them to install all their bits and pieces.
So, and I think they've got plans to do a full fit out inside and all that kind of stuff. I guess that's one thing with the V2 range. Customers have that option.
You got the choice. Yep, you can have an empty tray and canopy if you really want. It's a good starting platform. It's a good place to start, and it's immediately usable. You don't even have to worry about anything. You can put your gear in and start camping. You don't need to.
And even with the premium fit out side of things, with our fixed internal range, the GTU isn't available in this 1500mm platform because we just run out of room. By the time we put the slide out kitchen in and a fridge and all that kind of stuff, that center drawer is almost useless. But every model from there down, we offer. So you can still get a GTX, GT Plus and a GT in this 1500mm long canopy platform, which is pretty cool.
Yep, it's mint.
Plus we've got our AU Core range, which is our modular system. So you can have an upright fridge surround, and then there's a whole range of standard drawers and all that kind of stuff that can bolt in. U-deck as well.
Yep.
So you've still got the option to run the machine U-deck in the empty platform. It does, as much as the powder coat's great, it can be slippery.
Yeah, it can.
You know, which is what you want on the outside. So mud and dirt and bird poo and all that kind of stuff doesn't stick to it. But on the inside, just the standard powder coat, it can get quite slippery.
Your gear moves around a little bit.
Yeah, if you threw a tub in there, that tub's gonna slide very easily on the powder coat. So that U-deck side of things internally is a good option. Even if you don't have one of our canopies, the team at DC Deco, they can map and plot the internals of your canopy for you, and they can machine the U-deck, fit it all for you. So look, if you don't have one of our canopies, make sure you jump onto the team at DC Deco over here in WA, and they can get your canopy looking exactly like one of ours with that machined U-deck. It really is a cool option.
It looks really cool.
Yeah,
it
for
really
sure.
Does.
Other things, mate.
Yep.
Pretty well standard, I guess. Under tray boxes.
Yep. Good spot for the fuel cap as well, nice and protected.
Yeah, so on the 79 series, we're still retaining that filler. For the 79 series on the V2s, we also have the extra filler location on the headboard. So for customers who are running that Brown Davis long range tank, I think the most popular tank upgrade with 79 series that we see is keeping the factory 130 litre tank and adding the Brown Davis 110, which is forward of the axle. The thing looks like a bit of a rocket, and it is quite long, but once again, it keeps that weight forward of the rear axle. And even in my cruiser, I used to use the rear tank first to try and get the weight off the back of the vehicle, and then I'd use my Brown Davis. So in that instance, the little cap or cover comes off on the headboard, your fuel filler, breather and everything goes down, and that's what fills the Brown Davis tank.
Yep, so you've got a really good drop on that as well into that tank.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. So the rest of the tray's pretty well standard. I think the customer, excuse me, I don't know what tanks they've gone. I think it may be 2 tanks. Is that Brendo?
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, shorter.
So 100 litres of water on board, even with the shorter platform, and then an 890mm trundle drawer at the back.
Which is still plenty of storage.
Heaps. The water's probably the biggest thing.
Yeah, it's important.
You know, it's one thing a lot of people forget about is that if you're parked up at camp or you've got a camper trailer or what have you, having the option when you go into town to grab an extra 100 litres of water and pump it back into your camper trailer, your caravan, what have you. Or if you are camping and you're not towing anything, water is your biggest commodity. You definitely carry enough beer in a canopy like this. You can definitely carry enough food, but water is the one thing that you literally cannot take enough of. So for you guys at home watching, have a look at your water side of things and what you can carry and how long you can stay out camping for with the water that you have.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Let's head around to the back.
Alrighty, so up the back here we've got the spare wheels, of course, held on nicely by our spare wheel carriers, so nice and easy to get to.
Yeah.
And we've got the ladder as well, so this is our Straighty 180 ladder. Now we've called it a Straighty 180. It's not exactly 180. It's actually a lot better than 180. It feels a lot nicer than a fireman's pole ladder.
Yeah.
But yeah, really good ladder, really good option, nice and easy to use. And obviously gives you plenty of room to get those spare wheels off.
We wanted another option, didn't we?
Yeah.
Our Nomad ladder is very popular.
Very nice, very good.
But it's expensive to manufacture.
Yeah.
So we wanted not a cheap ladder, but a more cost effective.
Yeah.
You know, it's still very solid. The mounting location, so there's 19mm HDPE that we machine here in-house that basically catches the ladder and stops it from going down. You will see, although it's called a Straighty 180, it isn't 180 degrees. We've still done the kick on the bottom. There's nothing worse than having a ladder that is vertical.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah, it's a nightmare. You try and climb an extension ladder that's vertical, and good luck to you. That's also...
Especially grey Nomads. I know we know we cater for them quite a lot with that Nomad ladder. So still having that option for those that don't want to have the Nomad, still great.
And some of the integration with the Straighty 180, it's basically the same platform. You can see at the top, the mount that goes onto the canopy, right? There's then 4 rails that connect the ladder to the back of the canopy. Now they're adjustable. So if, for example, you had a Straighty 180 fitted to a flat back canopy, so no accessories on the back, and then you changed your mind and you wanted to add a tyre, you can call us up and say, boys, can I get a tyre carrier, and can I also get the parts to move my ladder out so that it goes over the top of the tyre? So a bit of integration gives customers a few more choices and all that kind of stuff. Simple and easy to use. There's 2 rubber latches on the side. There's rubber stoppers everywhere so that you don't get any rattle, you don't get any noise or anything out of it. So look, it is a cool option.
Yep,
for sure.
Good. Yep. Below that, obviously, we've got the trundle drawer. Now, I think we made a bit of a blunder earlier.
Yeah, there's a correction. We said earlier that it's got 2 tanks. When we pulled the trundle drawer out before,
we opened the trundle drawer and it kept going.
Yeah, it kept going. So there's 1 tank in this vehicle, which is 50 litres, plus the longer trundle drawer. Customer's chosen to add the lid
which is a really
onto
good work surface.
Yeah, definitely, it's perfect. Still got the latch, and our sales team and the operations team have done a cool little add-on for the RDA team with a bit of machined U-deck in their trundle drawer.
Yep, really cool.
It really looks cool. Now I know we've spoken about the trundle drawer a million times and there's other videos on it, but everything's basically adjustable. There's longer and shorter lids and all that kind of stuff. And there's the 4 different lengths of trundle drawer. Adding that lid really is a good option for sure.
That surface is at a really good height for working on. It's really good for cooking on. Yeah, really handy to have.
It's got the new latch in it as well, which holds the lid closed. Heap of new features with the trundle drawer. Basically, the backs of the locks are covered off as well, so that nothing can touch the lock, and you do get a little storage area in the middle, which is pretty cool for your tyre deflator and all that kind of stuff. Stuff that you'd normally be digging around trying to find. It's got its own little dedicated spot. Now, if this customer didn't have tyres on the back and they didn't have a ladder, they would have the option to go a longer lid as well. So things like US trucks and all that kind of stuff, you do have the choice. It just comes down to what rear wall
accessories
you've chosen. 227 kilo draw runners on the trundle drawers are standard. Number plate gets reintegrated back into it. Tail lights, all that kind of stuff. Tyre carriers, Brendo, they're a little bit different as well to the previous version. We've got this big wing nut now.
A bit easier to use this time round. The whole spigot idea, you just lift the tyre up, put it on, put your wing nut on, happy days, we're good to go.
Yeah, it is pretty straightforward and it's lockable.
Yes, padlocks right through the top, which is really nice.
So you got a 6mm hole there, so there's plenty of padlock options. You know what I mean? Stop people from stealing your wheels. Rooftop tent?
Yeah, rooftop tent. We've got the Bush Company rooftop tent up there. It's a really good option. Nice and slim, low profile, so it doesn't add too much height to the vehicle if that's something that you're looking for. And a good surface on top too for solar, so I'm assuming that Red Dust are going to put a pretty decent electrical system and some solar panels and all that sort of stuff up there, so it should be really good.
A customer's got factory tow bar on this thing, so you can see with that 1750 platform, we're probably 20mm past the face of that tow bar
hitch. Which is really good.
Yeah, look, it is.
Good spot.
Yeah, good spot. It suits the 79 series quite well, aesthetically and from a functional ride capacity side of things. It really is good. Standard rear tail lights. If you haven't seen any of our other videos, we've got a new tail light with a V2 range, and these customers have got a camera integrated back into the cab as well, which has been refitted underneath the tray. 79s are pretty basic on the back end.
Yeah, they are. I mean, the one thing I keep noticing is that with the canopy at this length, you're never going to walk past your toe ball and dong your shin, so that's a good one.
Yeah, definitely. So I think the 1750 platform for the cruisers is going to be popular for sure.
Everything that you know, just a little different. Same story, but told just a little different. Sit back, watch it grow, just a little different. Just a little different. Still exactly what you need, just a little different. You believe what you see, you're a little different. Yeah, you're just like me, you're a little different. We were built different, we were built different. You believe what you see, you're a little different. Yeah, you're just like me, you're a little different. We were built different, we were built different.
So, Brendo, round to the passenger side now. We might just touch on, I guess, aesthetics quickly. It's one thing I talk to a lot of people about. I'm an advocate of not too much colour. I've got a mate who's just bought a single cab 79 series. If you're watching, I won't mention your name, but if you're watching this video, too much Sandy Taupe can, it can look different. If you had a full Sandy Taupe canopy, for example, with the Sandy Taupe car and not enough black in it, look, I know it's my opinion, you know what I mean, but I may share that opinion with a lot of people. It's too much. It can look like
a cardboard box.
Yeah, cardboard box driving down the road. So, look, if you're watching this video, mate, I'm sorry. You got a bit of a cardboard box. So, look, it's, yeah, one of them things, trying to have enough black. And when we look at a vehicle or we talk about a vehicle, you know, Sandy Taupe, for example, got a black bull bar.
Black rooftop tent, black roof rack, black
roof rack,
wheels
black
and tyres
mirrors,
most of the time.
Black this, black side steps, black everything. So you go and stick just a fully color-coded canopy on the back. If it doesn't have enough of that black to color ratio, it starts to throw out the balance.
It does.
You know,
it does.
So with our decos, and I know we've done it from day one, there's a lot of people who have copied us now. Imitation is the best form of flattery, so thank you. But having that ratio between color and black really is critical. And it's something that you guys at home, if you're building a vehicle, it's something that you need to look at.
Yeah,
even if you go the opposite end and you have a Sandy Taupe car with a full black canopy, it just doesn't look like it's meant to be there.
No.
You know, so having the decos color coded. Now, for you guys at home that don't know a product, if your car was pink, these parts would be pink. If it was blue, green, so on and so forth, they're color matched to whatever the color of your car is. So it doesn't, and with the aesthetic side of it, it's kind of enough color, but it's not too much. You know, so if you are looking at, maybe factor it in. And to me, mate, with the single cab Sandy, I'm sorry, mate. It was a sponsored deal. We tried to get him one of ours, but he was sponsored by another company. So, look, hats off to you anyway. Hope you enjoy the cruiser around, driving the cruiser around. Inside, Brendo, on this thing.
Yep.
Mate, it's
not much, but
pretty basic.
Ready for RDA to put all of their accessories in. So we've got all the uni strut in there, obviously.
Yep.
Really nice and easy to mount to. You can just get those channel nuts with a spring on them and put them in and bolt straight down. So that makes things really nice and easy. Yep. So.
Yeah, Brad and Fee are going to be doing most of it themselves, and I guess that's the good option now with the V2 ranges. The customers have that choice. You know, you can start off with a tray as the platform, add a canopy later, all that kind of jazz. It really is a good option to have them choices. Under-tray boxes, pretty well standard on this side. Customers gone with central locking.
Yep.
Mudguards, standard, same as what they normally are. Yep. That platform, we'll touch on it again, that 1750 platform, I really like it. I think everybody else in the team here does, along with the engineering team. It does suit the vehicle. So yes, you don't have quite as much storage. That's 150 mil shorter. You know, it's not the end of the day, but it does make a difference. It
does.
For sure.
It does.
So, look, that's really about it. Yep. There's not too much else to go through on the internals with this thing, but make sure you check out Brad and Fee, Red Dust Adventures on YouTube. It's definitely worth a watch.
It is.
Righto, folks, I hope you enjoyed that video. The new 1750 platform for the 79 series does look good, being that little bit shorter. Now, make sure, a few formalities, give us a like. I jinxed myself. All right, go again. Give us a like, subscribe, and ring that bell notification to stay up to date with all of our latest videos.
And if you want to see more trays, you can click here. And if you want to see more canopies, you can click down here.
Legends, thanks for tuning in. We really do appreciate it. We'll see you next time.